Scary Stories 3. More tales to chill your bones. The girl was late getting home for supper. She took a shortcut through the cemetery, but oh, it made her nervous. When she saw another girl ahead of her, she hurried to catch up. "Do you mind if I walk with you?" she asked. "Walking through the cemetery at night scares me." "I know what you mean," the other girl said. "I used to feel that way myself when I was alive." There are all sorts of things that scare us. The dead scare us, for one day we will be dead like they are. The dark scares us, for we don't know what is waiting in the dark. At night, the sound of leaves rustling, or branches groaning, or something whispering makes us uneasy. So do footsteps coming closer. So do strange figures we think we see in the shadows. A human, maybe, or a big animal. Some horrible thing we can barely make out. People call these creatures we think we see Boo-men. We imagine them, they say, but now and then a Boo-man turns out to be real. Queer happenings scare us too. We hear of a boy or a girl who is raised by an animal, a human being like us who yelps and howls and runs on all fours. The thought of it makes our flesh crawl. We hear of insects that make their nests in a person's body, or of a nightmare that comes true, and we shudder. If such things really do happen, they could happen to us. It is from such fears that scary stories grow. This is the third book of such stories I have collected. I learned some of them from people I met. I found others. Tales that had been written down in folklore archives and in libraries. As we always do with tales we learn, I have told them in my own way. Some stories in this book have been told only in recent times, but others have been part of our folklore for as long as we know. As one person told another, the details may have changed, but the story itself has not. For what once frightened people still frightens them. I thought at first that one of the stories I found was a modern story. It is the one I call The Bus Stop. And then I discovered that a similar story had been told 2,000 years earlier in ancient Rome. But the young woman involved was named Philinion, not Joanna, as she is in our story. Are the stories in this book true? The one I call The Trouble is true. I can't be sure about the others. Most may have at least a little truth. For strange things sometimes happen, and people love to tell about them and turn them into even better stories. Nowadays, most people say that they don't believe in ghosts and queer happenings and such. Yet they still fear the dead in the dark, and they still see Boo-men waiting in the shadows, and they still tell scary stories just as people always have.